Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here for the comic reviews of the week of February the 24th. Okay? Kick it off with Marvel. Alright, first of all, I usually do Amazing Spider-Man first, and I know it came out this week, but unfortunately, the comic shop I go to was out of it. Didn't have a lot in stock of this week's issue, so I couldn't get it, unfortunately. Alright? So I'm just going to kick off with New Avengers, number 62. Alright, we open up with Spider-Man free falling down, and Spider-Woman shows up and she attacks him because her mind is being controlled by Mandrill, and there's also Griffin who's present. Pretty much it's Spider-Man versus Spider-Woman, and then cut back to Avengers hideout in Brooklyn where both Captain Americas are fighting the Living Laser, and then all of a sudden, Luke Cage shows up and knocks out the Living Laser. And after they take out the Living Laser, Luke is surprised to see Steve, and he hugs him, guy love. And then it's revealed that Luke came back to get his daughter's pacifier. And then all of a sudden, Steve notices the red dot of death, and looks up and he sees Nick Fury holding a sniper rifle. Then we have back to the spider fight. Spider-Man helps Jessica get control. Brief moment to speak to him about how she's being controlled, and then he decides to fake like he's fallen. And at which point, Spider-Man webs Mandrill's mouth, and then they both take him out and leave him there, so that they could contact the media and then call the cops, so that if they get arrested, the Hood won't bail them out for a while. Then we have both Captain America. Then Fury says something in Latin or whatever, or some other language, as the kill switch for life model decoys, and which proves that they're the real thing. And he's introduced to Fury's Secret Warriors. And then Hammer agents show up, and there's a huge fracas. Then back at Avengers hideout, Fury's Secret Warriors, Cage, and Steve Rogers and Bucky show up, and Clint Barton and Jessica Jones are happy, but Miss Marvel is not so sure if this is the real Steve, and he whispers something to her, and she's happy. And then we have the broadcast of Osborn beating Thor back in Siege number 1. Then Spider-Man shows up saying, "You won't believe the crazy night we had." Okay, maybe yours is definitely crazier. And Steve asks, "Okay, Fury, are these all the kids you have?" "Yep, they'll have to do. Avengers assemble." And Clint and Barton's like, "Oh, damn right." Alright, so New Avengers number 62. It was a slightly above average read. I enjoyed how Fury I enjoyed Fury's instincts, and how Luke Cage showed up, and the way Luke Cage entered the fight against the Living Laser. And also, the thing with the Spider-Man and Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman, I'm not so sure if that was really relevant to the story or not, but whatever. I enjoyed giving them some screen time in the New Avengers book, and alright, and I hope that whatever other tie-ins they have with Siege will be as good as this, if not better. Next up, Fantastic Four number 576. We have Sue Richards explaining to Johnny and Ben that they're going on a mission to an expedition in the North Pole, and that it might be under AIM, an attack by AIM. So the Fantastic Four shows up at the North Pole in their snowsuits, and Johnny's in swim trunks. And then it's revealed that they have to go underwater for their expedition, and they go under. And pretty much for the next few pages, it's nothing but action. It's nothing but action sequences. And at this point, I can comment on the art by saying that it's very beautiful art for this type of scene where there's no dialogue, just sound effects and fight scenes. And then between AIM and the ocean dwellers. Then after the fight, the Fantastic Four is given a telepathic communication device. And then they're taken to a chamber where there's these 3 rulers of each race, and their main ruler says that this is the kingdom of Atlantis, And Reed questions that this isn't Atlantis, it was destroyed, but then they mention that Atlantis is the entire sea. And so pretty much they want to know who that these three guys are each the voice of their races, and they want to know who the voice of man is. And Reed starts about to say that humanity is not collective, and there isn't a single being that would. And then Sue says that she'll be the voice of man. And the rulers want to know more, so they pretty much dub Susan the voice of man for the Undersea Kingdom. And our little epilogue says that Sue went to contact Namor about a peace assembly of all undersea creatures, and Namor has yet to respond. Okay, so Fantastic Four number 574. I don't know if this was a one-issue story or not. It does seem like Submariner might be involved, but it's kind of open-ended, where, like the last issue, it can go immediately to this one, or it can go to another story. It just seems very... Fantastic Four is just something that's not really involved in the siege right now, but it's still very entertaining. Okay, next, the final... Luckily, I did get my Spidey fill of the week with Spider-Man Clone Saga number 6. The end of the This is the end of the Spider-Man Clone Saga the way it was meant to be told. Alright, we have the Green Goblin tying up Ben, beating the crap out of him, and it's revealed that the Green Goblin... And then Spider-Man searches the Jackal's recent hideout to find who took his daughter. Then we have the Green Goblin throwing Ben around, and then he takes off his mask and it's revealed to be Harry Osborn. Then we have Mary Jane and May talking about the baby. Then we have Osborn and Kane watching the baby. And Kane reveals to Norman that this Norman is actually a clone. And of course, Harry's still beating the crap out of Ben and launches a flare to get Peter's attention. And Peter doesn't know yet. He thinks that there's some new goblin imitator. And then we have Osborn talking about how Harry should have avenged his death instead of bringing him back. And Kane's starting to have second thoughts about this, saying that she's just a baby and she shouldn't pay for the sins of her father. And then Ben's tangled up, warns Peter to look out, and then he gets attacked by Harry, and Peter automatically claims, "Of course, you're another clone!" And Harry claims that he's the real deal, not a clone. And all of a sudden, Peter's about to be beaten down, then Norman shows up, telling him not to kill him, and then Norman fires at Harry, and Ben and Peter are in shock. And now, pretty much, it's the Spider Brothers with Norman against Harry. Then Kane shows up back to the hospital, and he says he's here to finish what he started. Then we cut back to the fight against Harry, where they're fighting Harry. Then Ben holds Harry down, and then Harry activates his glider to go and attack Peter. But then Norman pushes Peter out of the way and gets stabbed. And Harry claims that he can and Norman states that he did it for Harry, that Harry needs to stop wasting his life and end this circle of hate. And Harry just claims, like, "Don't worry, I'll bring you back, I'll make you perfect." And Peter's getting pissed, "Where's my daughter?" And then Ben tells him we'll find him. And then it's revealed that Kane actually went and gave May back to May and Mary Jane to make it a happy ending. And then we have a happy-ended note where Ben resumes his life on the road, and the Parker family is genuinely reunited, and we can assume that Peter is back as Spider-Man. Okay, wow. This has to be this is definitely the way the Clone Saga should have ended. It was just amazing, alright? It had a very happy ending for Spider-Man, where he has a brother and a daughter. It's just wonderful. And it sucks that this wasn't the real ending. Although it will have been deleted thanks to that whole crappy One More Day movement. Alright, so definitely my Marvel pick of the week. Spider-Man Clone Saga. Definitely buying the trade when it comes out. Alright, now stay tuned for some DC reviews.